Hi everyone, my name is Attorney Ral Obioha. I'm the principal attorney at Ral Obioha Law, and our principal office is in Houston, Texas. And even though we do serve clients from all over the country, all over the U.S., and even beyond, we help immigrants everywhere. So today I wanted to talk to you about birth tourism, and this is a video that I'm doing by popular demand because I've had a lot of questions about birth tourism and what's going on under this administration. Now, if you've been in tune, you will know that there have been a lot of immigration developments and changes that have happened under the current administration. One of them is that for a lot of people who have in the past had a child in the United States and gone back to their home country, their renewal visas are being denied, and the embassies are taking the position that, first of all, I mean, they deny for various reasons, but the okay, let's start from the first reason. The first reason is that they don't think that you should be using your B visa, which is a tourist visa, or a B1, which is a conference visa, to have a child in the U.S. So a lot of people tell me all the time, well, I told the officer at the airport when I was being inspected that, I was coming to have a child. The embassy doesn't really credit that. What they want is for you to come to the embassy and say, I'm going to have a child. But then there's no guarantee that you're going to get approved even if you say that. So that's number one. Number two is there are certain hospitals that even though you don't ask for a discount, they will give you a discount, and then your invoice when you have a child, and the bill that comes from that will reflect and a discount that was given to you. And then the embassies will tell you during your interview, they'll say, well, you received a discount, you paid too low for your childbirth, you're ripping Americans of their ability to have, to have health care and to have kids, and you're coming, from out of the country and giving birth and taking away. It's a bunch of, okay, skip a word. But they usually tell a lot of people who have called me about this issue have told me that the interviewing officer at the consulate did mention that they're taking away something from Americans by having kids. But these hospitals, a lot of times they give you a discount that you didn't ask for, and it's not really a discount per se. It's like a program for people who pay cash. So if you come and you don't have health insurance, automatically, if you're an immigrant or if you're a visitor, you don't have a health insurance most of the time. So you just say, hey, I want to have a child, and then they will give you some kind of discounted program under which you pay cash. I mean, even gas stations give a discount for paying cash. So I don't see a problem with it. And I do have to add a disclaimer. This video and all videos that I make are based on my personal experience, based on my personal opinion, does not reflect anything else beyond that. It doesn't give you advice. If you want advice, you need to call the office to schedule a consult. I'm a U.S. citizen because my parents had me in the U.S., my siblings and I. And so, you know that for me, I think a lot of people who contribute to the U.S. economy were born here by immigrant families. Okay, and I think that as long as an immigrant family is able to afford and pay their full health bill for having a child in the U.S., I don't think there should be a problem with that. But that's, my opinion. Back to the embassy. So the embassies are denying visas, even not only the women who have had kids, they're denying visas to their spouses. And it's become such a widespread problem, especially in Nigeria. So this video is to give you a few pointers. Right now it's difficult to overcome, but I'm here to give you some pointers about how to avoid the issue to begin with, and number two is how to potentially fix the issue if it does happen. To avoid the issue, if you're not willing to risk your future ability to come to the U.S., at least under this administration, you should, when you apply for a visa, you should take with you evidence that you can pay your full bills. Get a invoice from a hospital here that doesn't reflect any kind of discounts. Take evidence of financial statements to show that you can afford the bill, and be honest at the interview. Say, I'm here to have a child, I want to have a child, but here's my bill. And the higher you pay, unfortunately, you know the more chance, more money you have, or the more financial resources that you can show, the higher the chance that you will get this visa approved. I've had people who have come to have cases that have had their visa approved based on that, and then they don't have any repercussions. But it's difficult, totally, to get a visa. So you're going to have to be able to show a lot of money. And it doesn't matter that you got your B2 visa before you got pregnant. So I have people who had their B2 visas like years before they got pregnant, and then they use it, to have a kid. They will still hold it against you. So a lot of times the embassy wants to be informed. So the one way to avoid that is to inform the embassy that you're going to have a child, and then showing evidence that you can afford to have the child in the U.S. That's number one. Number two way is, avoid discounts. I mean, I mentioned that before. Avoid discounts. So even if you do use a B2B visa, which will probably be an issue, at least if you, at the time when you combat it, you don't have you not be combating it using an invoice that shows a large discount. So make that sacrifice, pay the full amount so that you can minimize your risk of being denied in the future. Now, if you've been denied a visa based on having a child previously, it's overcomable, because what they're charging you with is misrep, which is fraud under the INA, which is the Immigration Nationality and INA, okay? So, which is the immigration code, basically. And so it's overcomable with something called a non-immigrant waiver, which is a non-immigrant waiver that's under INA 212D3. So in the field, we call it the 212D3 waiver. But this waiver is really difficult, because even though an attorney has to prepare for you, it has to be given to the officer at the interview. So this video is getting long, so I don't have time to get into the details specifically of how to get that waiver, but it's a possible waiver to get. However, there are things that you have to do, there are things that you have to put in place to ensure that, to maximize the chances that this waiver is approved. And before I go, I just want to say that this is a widespread problem. So if it's happening to you, don't take it personal. It's happened. I have clients who, had babies in the U.S. 14 years ago, but they're tagging them as, committers of bed tourism, and then denying them visas, even though that, these kids are like teenagers now. So it's something that is happening widespread. So don't take it personal. If you want to overcome it, you can either wait to see if we can, this administration, things change, or you can talk to a lawyer about a 212D3 waiver, see if you have a compelling case for it. Alright guys, this video has gone long. My name is Attorney Ral Obioha. All the same, if you have any further questions, feel free to call my office and schedule a consult. My office number is 832-569-1110. You can follow us on Instagram at Ral Obioha Law. Thank you and have a great evening.